So she wants to allocate her income between two goods. So this is her only income, and let's say she has a choice of two goods to buy. I know in reality we buy, say, 100 goods, but for the sake of this class, for the sake of making this simple, I'm just going to make the assumption she has two goods that she wants to buy. So let's figure out two goods here. Say she wants to buy cheese, and the cost for cheese is $2, and she wants to buy chocolates. The cost for a bar of chocolate is $1. Now, what I'm going to do next is draw a two-quadrant graph. I can have cheese on the vertical axis or chocolate on the vertical axis. That doesn't really matter here. Let me just put cheese on the vertical axis and chocolate, this one, on the horizontal axis. So we have this numbers goes all the way from 1 to, like, we are increasing from left to right on the horizontal axis. We all know that. Vertical axis, we go from bottom up. Now, I know that her income is $10 here, and let's say she wants to spend all her money on cheese. Like, she's a cheese eater, she loves eating cheese here, and she wants to spend all this $10 in buying cheese only. If she does that, she is going to end up with 10/2. That means like five packets of cheese. On the other hand, if she decides to spend her income on chocolates only, she would be able to purchase 10/1, and that's equal to 10, like 10 bars of chocolate. So these are some extreme choices here. So we make the assumption that at this point she is buying, like, say this is the anchor point, say this is point A here. At point A, she is buying 0 chocolates and 5 cheese. So here, 0 chocolates and 5 cheese. Remember, like, if you are familiar with this thing here, we have X on the horizontal axis and definitely Y on the vertical axis. So whenever I'm plotting this in terms of coordinates, X comes first, followed by Y. Now over here, she is buying 10 bars of chocolate and 0 cheese. So I'm going to join these 2 points here. And this one is called this line is called the budget line. And what she would really want to do is maybe buy some combination of cheese and chocolates. So she can be either here or here and here. So here comes the concept of budget constraint. This shows the possible combination of two goods that the consumer can buy with the consumer's limited income. And anything which is outside the budget constraint here, that is not affordable. Anything, if we have something inside the budget constraint, like if I look at a point like F here, this is affordable but inefficient. We do not really want to be inside the budget constraint. What we really want to be is we want to be on the budget constraint. So every point on the budget constraint is efficient and affordable. So any questions, anyone? Can you be a little bit louder, or I think people are just talking among themselves. Any questions? So we understand the concept of budget constraint, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look at the concept of total utility. It says satisfaction derived from consumer choices. Let me just insert another slide here. Go to the next concept here. Let's say I'm going to look at a good like pizza. Stop drawing with this glitters and total utility. So total utility, that means this means happiness. That means how happy we are if we are purchasing any good of our choice. It can be anything. You can use any, we can use really any example here. I'm just using pizza because I'm hungry. It's a cold day and it's a perfect day to eat pizza. All right, so I am buying 0 units of pizza. I do not have any pizza. So I'm not happy at all because I don't have any pizza. Now, then I'm going to eat 1 slice of pizza. My happiness goes all the way to 10. So here, let's say I'm measuring happiness by this unit, which is called utils. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and buy and eat another slice of, oops, this all went away. Another slice of pizza here. My happiness goes up to 15. Now I'm going to consume the 3rd slice of pizza. My happiness goes to 17. The 4th slice of pizza, my happiness stays the same, which is 17. Going to eat the 5th slice of pizza. My happiness goes down. So what is really going on here? Looks like my total happiness is increasing, but it's like keeps on increasing, reaching a maximum, then this goes down. So this is called, here we have, oops, okay, too many 7s here for no reason. So here we are going to look at this concept of marginal utility, and this one is defined as the change in total utility over change in the unit consumed. Change in, let's write here. I'm going to explain what this sign means. So this sign delta, this is a Greek letter here, and this one means change. So let me just show you how to calculate this marginal utility here. For the first unit, this will be 10 minus 0 over 1 minus 0. This is equal to 10. The second unit, this one is 15 minus 10 over 2 minus 1. This equals 5. For unit 3, this is 17 minus, like with the number before that we had, 15 over 3 minus 2, that's equal to 2. For the fourth unit, this is 17 minus 17 over 4 minus 3, that's 0 over something is 0. For the fifth unit, this is 16 minus 17 over 5 minus 4, and this is -1. So my question to you here is, what are my observations? My total utility, I'm going to make this abbreviation as TU, and this marginal utility, I will abbreviate this as M. I would say my total utility is increasing at a decreasing rate. Just to let you know here, this 10 is the total utility from the first unit only. The 15 is the utility from the first and second, 17 from the first and second and third, so on and so forth. And number 2, we have this concept of marginal utility. This keeps going down, and this is called the concept of diminishing marginal utility. If you think about your daily life, so any questions, please, you can either write it in the chat or just let me know what questions. All right, think about your consumption patterns. So if you are very hungry, probably you can eat 1 unit, like keep on going, eating and eating the same thing again. Your happiness keeps going down. Okay, so this is the concept here, and I was showing you the video of Homer Simpson. So for him, the diminishing marginal utility concept, that doesn't really hold good, because he was never satisfied with the amount of food he was eating. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next slide here, and this one, we went over this concept altogether, like we went over this in the 2 slides before. We have the definition of marginal utility and the concept of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, so this one here is just showing me, like we have, this is a budget, and we have this as the budget line here. So we just have an example here. Jose has an income of $56. He wants to buy movies and t-shirts. So here, how are we getting this point, which is 4? So this is 56 over 14. And this one, I'm dividing the income by the cost of the good. So the anchor points you are getting by dividing the income over the price of the good. Okay. This part is like really straightforward here. Now, what I really want to do here is the complicated part, because that's the reason I really wanted to keep this session. So if we are making some choices, so we need to keep in mind 2 things here. So we are going to look at the rule for maximizing utility. We went over the first part. We defined total utility and marginal utility. Now, let's say we want to consume 2 goods, and anyone's got any question, or I'm just gonna I'm gonna mute all because talking and disturbing the class. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, please send me in this chat window. Okay. All right. Let's say we have one consumer and the consumer has a choice between two goods, and how will the consumer choose its goods? So there are two rules for utility maximization. So here it says a rule, but we really have two rules here. Okay, so the first one is marginal utility over price for this one's for good one, and this is equal to marginal utility over price for good two. This is not going to make any sense unless I go ahead and give you some example here, and that's what I plan to do. And the second one is the consumer needs to spend all his income. So these are the two rules of utility maximization you need to take care of, and the homework questions and exam questions, we are going to definitely use these two rules. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go and share with you some class questions. Let me share this class questions here. Otherwise, this whole thing is not going to make single sense. Can we all see these questions? All right, so these are the set of questions that I'm going to look at. This question, so if you want to read the first question here, this one says, you are choosing between two goods, X and Y. The marginal utility from each is shown in the table below. That means this one, we can buy 1 to 6 units of X and we can buy 1 to 6 units of Y. Okay. So, let's see. So here, what else is given to us? I have an income of $9. So this is what I need to keep in mind. Income is $9. Price of X is $2 and price of Y is $1. Respectively, what quantities of each will you purchase to maximize utility? What total utility will you receive? All right, so we're going to have questions like this here. So let me do something here. So I will make two columns here. So the first thing, what I really looked at is, I want to look at this. This is what I want to achieve. Marginal utility of X over price of X equal to marginal utility of Y over price of Y. So I want to make this column marginal utility of X over price of X. The price of X is $2. So each of these numbers here, I want to divide over 2. So I have 5, 4, 3, then I have 2, then I have 1.5 and 1. So these are the numbers I'm getting here. Now I have to do the same thing for the other good, which is good Y. So all these numbers, MUY over PY, I'm going to divide all of these numbers over So over 1 basically. That's pretty straightforward. I have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. These are the numbers I'm getting here. All right. I want to make this. Now, let's compare. All right, let's compare. Let's compare 5 and 8. Looks like MUY over PY. This sign is for greater than MUX over PX. So I really want to buy 1 unit of good Y because this one is greater than this one, okay? So I just bought 1 unit of good Y. That's what I have in my pocket, in my basket. So I went ahead and bought the first unit of good Y. Now, then I'm going to compare 7 to 5 because 7 is still great, like MUY is still greater than like this one, this whole thing here. I would say MUY over PY, that's greater than MUX over PX. So I'm going to buy my second unit of Y. All right, I'm going to strike the 7 off. Next, I'm going to compare 6 to 5. It's like I didn't really buy any unit of X yet. So let's see how this works. So 6 is greater than 5. I'm going to buy 1 more unit of Y. Okay, that's all I did. Next, I'm going to compare this one, this 5 to this 5. So at this point, MUY over PY equals MUX over PX. So I will buy 1 unit of X and 1 unit of Y. So this was all I did so far. Looks like I bought 1 unit of X and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units of good Y. So let's see what is my total spending so far. So my total spending so far is I just bought 1 unit of good eggs and price of good eggs is $2. So $2 plus 4 units of good Y. Price of Y is $1. So basically I spent $5 so far. Okay. This problem doesn't really end here because I have an income of $9. So I need to spend more money here. I need to spend all my income. So let's see, I'm gonna strike this to force off. Gonna buy 1 more unit of X and 1 more unit of Y. So 1 more unit of X. This is gonna cost me $2. 1 more unit of Y. That's gonna cost me $1 here. 2 plus 1. So this is equal to 3. 4, 5, 6. Oh, I made a mistake here. So that was $6. All right, here we have spent our $9 here. So we spent all our money, and the question was how many units of each good you are buying. So looks like I bought 2 units of x and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of y. This is what I bought so far. Let's see. Okay, looks like I bought, let's see, 2 units of x and 5 units of y. All right, what is the next question they're really asking us? They're asking us what is the total utility that we derive from this whole thing. So to understand this total utility concept, to find out this total utility, how much we derive, I want you to look at another problem here. I want you to go ahead and take a look at question number 4, where you have to complete the following table. So we know that this is how we find out marginal utility, which is change in total utility over the change in units consumed. Okay, so this 10, I'm gonna get this as, this is 10 minus 0 over 1 minus 0. Okay, now this one is blank. Let's say this is x here. So this 8, how do you find this 8 here? 8 is equal to x minus 10. As you can see here, the denominator is always equal to 1, so I will skip writing the denominator here. Looks like my x is equal to 18. So I'm just going to skip this x here and write this one as equal to 18. Okay. Now I have to fill up this one here, which is y. Y equal to 25 minus 18. This one is 7. Next number I have z. Z equals 30 minus 25. This one is equal to 5. Now let's say this is a. Then this 3 is equal to a minus 30. So this a is equal to 33. I can write this one as 33 here. The next number, say this is equal to b. This is equal to 34 minus 33, and this is equal to 1. This is how I find the marginal utility from the total utility and vice versa. Now with this one in mind, I feel like you can find out the total utilities. The first number will be 10. The second number will be 10 plus 8, 18. The third number will be 18 plus 6, 24. The next number is 28. The next number is 31. I just keep on adding this successive numbers here. This one is 33. Now I have to find out the total utility for y. The first unit is 8. The second unit is 15. The next unit is 21. Then the next unit is 26. After that is 30. After that is 33. So how many units did you buy? So you bought 2 units of X. The total utility from 2 units of X is 18. And the total utility from 5 units of Y is, this one's equal to 30. So the question is asking you, let's see, what total utility did you realize? So my total utility is 18 with that. This one here, 18 plus 30, this is equal to 48. So this is my total utility. Okay. Alrighty. As we are here, let's go ahead and solve the rest of these problems too before we go back to this chapter. It says number 2, Frank spends $75 on 10 magazines and 25 newspapers. The magazines cost $5 and newspapers cost $2.50. Suppose the utility from the final magazine is 10 utils, from the final newspaper is 10 utils. According to the utility maximizing rule, Frank should do what? I have 4 choices here. So problems like this, you take the marginal utility over price for each of the goods. The first one we have is magazines. The next one we have marginal utility over price. This one I have newspaper, and let's see, newspaper. What's the marginal utility of magazines? This one's 10. Price of magazines is 5. 10 over 5, that's 2. Marginal utility of newspapers, that's also equal to 10. Price of newspapers is $2.50. So this equals 4. So basically, I see that marginal utility over price for newspapers is greater than this ratio for magazines. So this guy should spend more money on newspapers compared to magazines. Okay, hope this makes sense. Now, question number 3 here, it says, Mrs. Simpson buys loaves of bread and quarts of milk each week at price of $1.80 respectively. At present, she is buying these products in such amounts that the marginal utilities of these two are 80 and 7. Is she buying the utility maximizing combination of bread and milk? If not, how would she allocate her expenses? So to find out the utility maximizing combination, these two ratios got to be equal. So you take the marginal utility of bread divided over the price of bread. This is what you do. After that, you take the marginal utility of milk, divide this by the price of milk. So looks like the marginal utility of bread is, oh, this one is 80, and the price of bread is $1. Marginal utility of milk is 70. Price of milk is 80 cents. So got to do this calculations here. This one's equal to 80. The next one is gonna be 70 over 0.8. This one is 87.5. Which one would Mrs. Simpson buy? So she's gonna buy milk because this ratio is greater than this ratio. So the question, is she buying the utility maximizing combination? This answer is no, is because these two ratios are not equal to each other. If not, how would she reallocate her expenses between two goods? So she should buy more milk. That's what she should do here. Okay, hope this makes kind of sense. All right, I got you go back to your PowerPoint once again. Got to share this PowerPoint. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it's asking me to stop sharing. Okay, it stopped sharing altogether. Let me start and sharing again. Oh, no, I want to share the PowerPoint rather. All right, now I hope this whole thing makes sense after we did the problems. Now we looked at this budget constraint. So what was the budget constraint? If you recall, budget constraint was the possible combinations of two goods this consumer can buy, given his income and the prices of the two goods. Now, let's say this one is my initial budget constraint, and say your income is increasing. All right, let me give you an example here. Let's say the income is equal to $1,000. This is my initial income, and let's say Mrs. Simpson again, or I'll just pick any of your names if you don't mind. Let me look at the participants list here. Adriel, Ellen, Rika, Juan. Let me pick up Erika because she is the first to join. So let's say, hope Erika doesn't mind me using her name. Let's say Erika has an income of $1,000. Sorry, Erika, you might have more income. And you want to buy concert tickets and overnight hotel stays. So these are your choices here. So this is your initial budget. Thank you. Budget constraint. What's the price of overnight stays here? Price of overnight stays. This is $200. Price of concert tickets. This is gonna be 1,000 over 20. This is 50. Okay. All right. Now say her income increases from $1,000 to $2,000. So she has more money. So more income, and definitely every single person will be happy. So what she can do here is she is going to buy more of both goods, or she can buy one of more good and less of other good. So her income is increasing here. So this whole budget constraint, this one shifts to the right. So if your income is going to increase, this whole budget constraint, this one is going to shift to the right. On the other hand, if the income goes down, if Erica's income is down from $1,000 to $500, if this happens, I hope this doesn't happen to anyone. So that situation, the budget constraint, this one will shift to the left. Okay, this is how this whole thing works. Now she was at point M here, where she was buying 3 concert tickets and 8 overnight stays. So she can move from point M to point N, where she's buying 20 concert tickets and probably this number is 6 overnight stays. So here comes another concept here. If your income is up and you buy more of the good, that was on the chapter on demand and supply, the good is a normal good. Okay. On the other hand, if you buy less of the good when your income is increasing, then your good is an inferior good. Okay. But here, if she moves to point Q here, that means she's buying more overnight stays, but less concert tickets. So at this point N, both goods are normal because she's buying both of more goods, she's buying more concert tickets and more overnight stays. So overnight stays is a number that comes first. And after that, we have concert tickets. So let's do it this way. 0, sorry, this keeps sleeping for some reason. All right, this one is overnight stays. This one's concert tickets. All right, so this one, compare point M to point N here. So point N is both goods are normal goods because she's buying more compared to point M. Now compare point M to point Q here. She is buying more overnight stays. Is she buying more overnight stays? Okay. Okay, yeah, that's right. So overnight stays, this one will be a normal good at point Q, but this one, if I compare M and Q here, she is buying less concert tickets. So concert tickets, that will be an inferior good. Now at point 2 here, she is, so I'm just going to point this one, overnight and concert, overnight and concert, over, oops, for some reason, that's annoying when this happens. So overnight, sorry about that, people. This keeps sleeping for some reason. Hope this doesn't sleep this time. Overnight and concert, overnight and concert, overnight and concert, overnight and concert. So point P here, overnight stays will be an inferior good because the number of overnight stays is going down compared to point M, and concert tickets will be normal good. Okay, so I like how everything is so much clearly explained here in this graph. Now, the next part here, we are showing you how the budget constraint will rotate. So I want to go back to our initial example here. Okay, so this was my initial setup where I was buying two goods, cheese and chocolate, and the price of cheese was $10, price of chocolate was $1. Now say the price of chocolates goes down from $1 to 50 cents. So the price of chocolates, this just went down from $1 to 50 cents. However, the price of cheese, this one stays the same. Okay, if that is the case here, Erika, she can buy, I took Maria here, so this one, she can buy 10 over 50 cents. That means 20 bars of chocolate. And the budget, excuse me, line, this is gonna rotate. However, if the price of chocolates, this goes up from $1 to $2, price of cheese staying the same, she can buy 10 over $2, that is 5 bars of chocolate. So going back to this one here, so when price, let's see what happens here. When price rises, this budget line, this, yes, these are recorded. This rotates, I know I'm just going a little bit fast, to the left. And however, number 2, when price falls, the budget line, this one will rotate to the right. So if the price falls, the budget line, this is going to rotate to the right here. All right, so that's quite straightforward here. Then we come to the concept of substitution and income effect. It's like when price rises here, you want to buy less of that good with relatively high price, and you want to buy the other good which has a relatively low price. Income effect means if the price goes up, that means your buying power has gone down. Your income might not have changed. Maybe your income is $1,000 still, but if the price is gonna go up, you might want to buy less of that good. So income effect means your purchasing power will go down. So income effect, so like if the income falls. However, if my income rises, your purchasing power will go up. Okay. Now I want to do the last concept here, which goes on and talks about the concept of demand curves. And I know the last problem in the set of problem choices that's based on this concept here. I really want to do that problem too. And definitely I will give you this recorded lecture as soon as I get this, as soon as it is available through WebEx. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. It says as the price increases from P0 to P1 to P2 to P3. So what we did before, when the price increases, the budget line rotates to the left. So here, this is what happens there. Budget line keeps shifting to the left here. So here I have housing on the horizontal axis and everything else on the vertical axis. Say we have food on the vertical axis. Now, if you look at the demand curve here, I have the quantity on the horizontal axis and the price on the vertical axis. So here the thing is, from this concept of this theory just means here we just want to move from the concept of utility to deriving. We might go a few minutes beyond 12 to deriving demand curves. So this is what I'm trying to do here. So price increases, budget line rotates to the left. As a result, the quantity demanded, this one goes down. So we just move along the demand curve here. Price keeps increasing, quantity keeps decreasing. That is like from the utility theory, we can go to the law of demand. This is what you need for the homeworks and for the exam questions. So the next slide, skip. I never ask you questions about behavioral economics. So you can just stop at slide 16. You don't need to do any of this behavioral economic stuff. Now, the last thing I want to do before I let you all go here is I really want to do the last question here. I want to show, like, let me stop sharing and share this one here. We solved most of the problems except one part. What's the part that we did not solve? So the next part, we did all of this. We did till this part here. Now the next part of the question, if you read, because I sent you the set of questions just before class, it says, say the price of good X falls to $1. It was how much before? The price of good X was $2 before, but now the price of good X went down from how much? From $2 to $1. So I'm going to have something new that's going on here. Let's see what's the new stuff that I got to do, because I really want to do this part and before letting you all go. So this was what we had before. So the price of X was $2. Now the price of X is $1. So I'm going to divide marginal utility of X over price of X, which is $1 here. So instead of 5, 4, 3 to 1.5 and 1, this is going to be 10. Next one's 8. Next one is 6. After that, we have 4. Then we have 3. Then we have 2. So these are the numbers here. Now I want to compare with this. All right, then we had 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. I want to compare, let's see, I want to compare this ones with this ones now. All right, let's pay a lot of attention here because this is what is really important. So I want to compare 10 and 8 because 10 is greater than 8. I want to buy 1 unit of X. That's for step 1. Now step 2, I want to compare 8 to 8. So I just have 1 unit of X in my basket. Next, I have 8 is equal to 8. So whenever these two numbers are equal, I'm going to buy both goods, 1X and 1Y. However, I do this, I'm still not going to spend all my money here. So I spent $3. And if you remember, my income is $9 here. I got to spend all my money. I have $6 left. So I go on, I compare 6 to 7. 7 is greater than 6. Step 3, I purchase 1 more Y. Then step 4, 6 equal to 6. I have 1X plus 1Y again. So basically, I'm spending $3 more again. So I still have $3 left over. So then I compare 5 and 4. Next step, I buy 1Y. After that, I compare 4 and 4. So I buy 1X plus 1Y in the last step. So dollar plus a dollar. So basically, I spent all my money. Looks like I bought 1, 2, 3, 4 units of X. And I bought 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. 5 units of Y. Here the price of X, this was equal to $1. Okay. Alrighty. So what are they asking us to do here? Using the two price and quantities for X, derive a demand curve for X. Yes, this can be definitely one of your questions. I want to show you how we have this numbers. How do we derive the demand curve? This is what I want to show you now. All right, so let's say I have X on the horizontal axis, Y on the vertical axis. Okay. Price of X was initially $2. Price of Y was $1 here, and my income was $9. So 9 over $2. So basically, I'm going to divide the income over the price of the good. This one is 4.5, and this one is 9 over 1. And so I'm like doing the anchor points here. So this is my initial point. Okay. And after that, the price of X went down from $2 to $1. So price of X went down, price of Y staying the same. So I have $9 over $1, so this is 9. Looks like when the price of X goes down from $2 to $1, this budget line, this is going to shift, rotate outwards. Now I'm going to do the last thing here. Over here, I have the quantity of X. Over here, I have the price of X. This one is the demand curve for X. Let's see, what did we find? When the price of X was $2, we bought 2 units of X. Now when the price of X went down to $1, we bought 4 units of X. All right, so the price of X was $2. We bought 2 units of X. Then the price of X went down to $1. We bought 4 units of X. So these are the points on the demand curve. All right, so this is basically, we did everything. All right, this is what you need for your exam. So next class is the I believe that is 20th. I really want to do a session next class because you have your exam on the 28th. What I really want you to do is, you just have 4 chapters: scarcity and choice, demand and supply, elasticity, and this chapter on consumer choice or utility theory. So go over the chapters, the YouTube questions or the YouTube links here, and if you want me to go over anything in the next class, I would be more than happy to do that. Okay, so like,
So, Professor, is this chapter 5 or chapter 6?
I believe this one is, let's see here, I believe this one's chapter number 6. Let's see, yeah, this is chapter number 6. So from the book you have chapter 6. This is consumer choice. Then you have number 5, I believe, is the theory on elasticity. Yeah, that's a theory on elasticity, number 5. Number 4, I did not really ask you any questions on number 4, so you can skip that. Oh, number 3 is elasticity. All right, do you want me to go to this? Let's see. Let me go to the modules here. I don't want to really mess with your syllabus. So I'll stop the recording here.